Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. We apologize for the 2 or 3 minute delay. We are pushing over FYNTV.com over to our YouTube channel this morning. We're seeing some difficulty over on the FYNTV.com streaming service, so we're pushing that over to YouTube, and we'll try to make those corrections as soon as possible. I'm having all the freeze up problems. I guess no one's immune. I got 19 tabs open and they're all froze. Do you have all my pictures, Amanda? Okay, I know you just got the pictures. Do me a favor. I sent you an email also from the Speaker of the House's office. Caleb is the Speaker of the House of Georgia. There's a couple pictures in there he wants to use also. All right, so just give me a heads up when pictures are ready. Sorry about the delays. Everything is frozen up on my computer, but that's okay. I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We will have, at 9:30 this morning, Speaker of the House, Georgia Speaker of the House, attended the infrastructure announcement with President Donald Trump yesterday morning. We will have David Ralston, Republican from Blue Ridge, Georgia Speaker of the House, with us at 9:30. Get about 6 or 7 minutes in, find out what the $1.5 trillion of infrastructure spending. Now, the interesting thing that I can't wait to ask is, okay, so it's a $1.5 trillion. We have our public-private partnerships. We want private sector to get involved in the repairing, rebuilding, and the new infrastructure in this country. But the government's going to put $200 billion of your tax money into it. So what does that mean for the states? Where does that come up with the $1.5 trillion? Now, Chuck Schumer is standing on the floor of the Senate yelling that, hey, you know what? This is going to mean tolls. And fortunately, in Georgia, you are not accustomed to an enormous amount of toll roads. I know you have 400. I don't even know. I don't go anywhere near a toll road in the state of Georgia. But many states are used to having tolls. Now, let me just say this. In the Interstate Highway Act, my understanding is, and the tolls were supposed to be put in, all right, and used until the project was paid for, okay? You were supposed to have tolls until the project was paid for. So, for example, when they built the George Washington Bridge to go into New York City, they put, 19 long toll booths in, right? So you could pay a toll to cross the George Washington Bridge, all right, until supposedly the bridge was paid for. That was what we understood to be the reason for tolls. The Holland Tunnel, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I mean, everywhere you go in the Northeast, there are tolls. The Delaware Turnpike, okay? The Baltimore Harbor Thruway Tunnel, all right? It doesn't matter where you're at in the Northeast, it's tolls everywhere. So Schumer, Chucky, is enormously upset over the infrastructure bill based on he's calling it tolls, all right? So we'll talk to the Speaker at 9:30 about that. We'll look also at Susan Rice wrote an interesting email exonerating. Play it by the book. Was that the comment? Let's play it by the book. So we'll look at that this morning. DACA, immigration, on the floor, a free-for-all on immigration. I've asked you this before. Do you feel there should be a path to citizenship for the so-called, I do not call them, but what the media likes to call the dreamers? Do you feel there should be a path to citizenship for the dreamers? And what do you think about border security on our southern border of the United States? What do you think about that? You got any pictures ready? Because I'm not trying to put pressure on Amanda. We had a streaming problem to the FYNTV.com, but I understand YouTube is working fine, right? That's streaming fine? Okay. So we are streaming live to our YouTube channel. If you want to send the show a message, that's FYN, send the show a message. You can send it 706-889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com. You can follow us on Twitter @fetchernews.com, @FYNTV. Okay, what else do we have? We have Byron York puts out that James Comey put up Comey and Flynn. Now, none of my tabs are opening, so I'll probably have to shut down the computer during a break and see if the world starts again. Supposedly, James Comey said that Flynn did not lie to the FBI. Supposedly, that did. I mean, on a daily basis, this FBI, Department of Justice, Russia investigation falls apart every day. Something falls apart every day. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a brief break and see if shutting down my computer will allow me to get all my tabs to work. It's all froze up this morning. We apologize, but we got a lot going on, and I have to be able to read. Oh, by the way, Amanda, let me ask you a question.
What's going on?
Now, this is. You know, I probably should have said to you before the show started I was going to ask this question. You may not want to answer this question. If you say I defer, I'd rather not discuss this. Just tell me, okay?
No comment?
Yeah, just say that, okay? Now, I don't want to get into, too personal, but, I understand you have some children. Is it okay for me to say that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, well, stop me when it's not okay.
Okay.
Right. And have you had to talk with them? No, why? No, look, I have another one, and you know who? Guess who? You know what? Let me just say something before we get this thing going. I feel under a lot of pressure every day because every day the damn boss sits in there and I have to get facial expressions. I have to get all kinds of stuff. I mean, where do you work that the boss sits there for 2 hours? It goes, let me give you the sign. She's worse than an NFL official throwing a flag. I have seen less flags in an NFL game than your host gets from, yes, Sam. I get like this, really? And then I get this. This is BKP. Maybe better stop. We're going to do a whole thing so you can understand the signals I get from there. So, Amanda, before I was, throwing the flag from Sam, thinking I was going to say something out, have you had to talk with the kids?
Well, okay, I have a 2.5, a 5.5, and an almost 10-year-old.
Okay, wait a minute, no. You're supposed to say what talk?
Well, I hope we're talking about the talk.
No, the talk. I'm talking about the talk. Have you had to talk with the kids?
The talk. What talk are you talking about?
Like which bathroom to go in?
Oh my God. Well, I have all boys, so they just naturally know.
Wait, no. Stop. You said naturally. You do realize that is an issue naturally.
Okay.
Now I have Sam raising her hand, but she can't get in yet. You said naturally.
I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going? Tell me where I'm going.
I know where you're going with this, and I do want to support you in your point. My boys have never, since they could have walked into a bathroom by themselves, wanted to go into a women's bathroom. But I make them because I have to go into the women's bathroom. Let's just say that.
So you feel they naturally know where to go?
Naturally, yes.
Got it. All right, Sam, you had your hand up. Now, I've got to move along, but I just want to know.
Okay, real fast. So how about this conversation came up this morning with my 16-year-old getting ready. She said that they had a conversation in her second period class yesterday that there are 62 sexes registered in the United States. How's that even possible? You're either a boy or
back up. I don't know how I got this started. All I asked is to talk. Now wait a minute. So how old? I know your nieces. I know how old. Which one? How old?
In high school, and in their second period high school class yesterday, it came up that there are 62 sexes that you can choose from in the United States.
62?
62 options.
What the hell is this? Baskin Robbins? What is this? 62 flavors? Baskin Robbins?
Insane.
Holy mackerel. Byron York. Comey told Congress FBI agents didn't think Michael Flynn lied. That one's coming up, folks. We're going to talk about that one. Oh my gosh. Now, I want to talk about something that before we go to break, I think my computer's working, and I'm going to take a chance on this. All right? Do you have that video I want to play? Okay, now wait, don't play that yet, because I have about had it, and we'll talk about this also in the show, all right? I know what you're saying. You mean you don't want to talk about immigration? Look, in fact, I'm going to, when we come back, I'm going to discuss something that has me very concerned in immigration. Put up the picture of the 3 Americans that are detained in North Korea. 3 Americans. Just put this up because I am so tired. Who the hell? Am I supposed to be nice today? It's not Thursday, right? And the love bear. I took the love bear off. I had the love bear over here so I wouldn't get excited, right? And then I get a message. What's with the love bear? I'm like, okay, the love bear had to go. So anyhow, these are 3 Are you tired? Are you just sick and tired of hearing about the unified women's Korean hockey team? Not North and South, unified. Are you sick and tired of hearing about Rocket Man's sister and the diplomatic handshake and the reaching out and the unified team? How about this? These are 3 Americans still being held in North Korea. Okay? Tony Kim, Kim Sung, I don't know how to, I'm sorry. This is where I do better with Italian names. I know it. Was that racist? What? If it has a vowel at the end, somehow I understand it. Bada bing, bada boom, all right? So, and Kim Don, whatever, are 3 Americans. Put the picture back up. I mean, is it going to be one of those days? Leave the picture up. These are 3 Americans that are still in captivity. They are in North Korea being held on crimes. The teacher, now, teaching at a university, getting ready to leave. Now, the North Koreans like to get people as they're getting ready to leave. Put up Otto Warmbier. Okay, I'm so tired of the hockey. I'm so tired of this, okay? Every time, think of those 3, and then think of Otto. Every time you hear somebody like Katie Couric gushing, and all of these leftists that are gushing over the Korean women's hockey team. Now, put up the picture, okay, of the hockey team, all right? This is the Korean the Korean, unified Korean hockey team, North and South Korea, has come together. Now put up the picture of Rocket Man's sister. You got a couple of them, right? This is Rocket Man's sister. I can't pronounce her name, and the more I think about it, I don't need to know her damn name, all right? This is someone I do not need to know. So there's our president, okay, Mike Pence, all right, and Rocket Man's sister. Oh, the gushing. Here she is there. Oh, you know what? Maybe if, no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything ugly. Not going to say anything ugly. Okay, now, that's all I keep hearing. Don't forget, there's a hashtag USA3, okay? Hashtag USA3. This is this guy's son. Let's play this before we go to commercial. All right? This is the one guy that is held in captivity, all right, in North Korea as the Olympics are going on and everybody's gushing over it, okay? This is his son making a plea to all Americans that are watching the Olympics. Let's play that video.
As you gather with your family and friends to watch the Olympics, will you remember my dad, Tony Kim? My dad was arrested last April in North Korea, and we don't know what has happened to him. Tony is actually one of the 3 Americans being held captive in North Korea, just miles from the Olympic stadiums. Here's how you can show your support with these 3 Americans. If you're at the Olympics, hold up 3 fingers whenever you cheer on our American athletes. Whenever you tweet or post on social media about the Olympics, include hashtag USA3 or link to our website, freeusa3.com. Or you can even take and share a selfie with hashtag USA3 while holding up 3 fingers. Whatever your style, please help spread the word so that my dad and these other Americans are not forgotten. Thank you so much for your prayers and your action.
What, Amanda, what did he say his dad's name was? Tony Kim, right? Yeah. Put up the cheering squad. Did I have the picture of the cheering section that they put together for the Korean? And I know, I saw this video this morning. When I saw this video this morning of this young man, here's like LA Times. Despite loss in Olympic opener to Switzerland, Korean women's hockey team celebrates unity. Okay? Folks, we should not in America give these people 1 ounce of airtime. NBC shouldn't even air the damn games. Okay? Shouldn't even air the damn games. The Olympics, I love the Olympics. But what the hell? We've gone crazy, okay? We have 160 Russian athletes, but Russia can't compete. You know, they keep putting things right in front of our face like we're stupid, okay? We have Olympians from Russia. So they can't compete because they're caught juicing, right? What the hell? Some Japanese was caught juicing yesterday. His sushi was hot, all right? And he got caught, got thrown out or whatever, all right? I forget. But anyhow, we have 160-some athletes from Russia. And we have the Olympic athletes from Russia. Russia can't compete. They're whacked. Then you have people like NBC here that are gushing. You know, Katie Couric, CNN, they're gushing over there over the diplomatic relations and the cheering. That cheering section, let me tell you something. You don't cheer, you're dead. It's that simple. You don't cheer, it's over. I'm just telling you flat out, it's over. You don't cheer. I told you yesterday, well, will this put a separation between Donald Trump, America, and South Korea? Hell no! Little Rocket Man is not looking to open Kia dealerships anywhere in North Korea. I told you this yesterday. I just get worked up over this one, okay? I get worked up. Let's go over one more before we take a quick break. I thought that's the one. Hold on a second here. Let me see what I got here. Put the one, let me see where it's at here. Now the decision has been made. I understand the decision has been made. The women's hockey team. Put up the helmets. Okay? We have two goalies. The IOC, okay, the International Olympic Committee, I guess that's what it is, IOC, may force U.S. women's hockey team to remove the Statue of Liberty from their helmets because it's deemed a political symbol. Well, I don't have the picture, but when Korea came in, all right, the hockey team had a unified flag. Nothing political symbol about that, okay? Nothing at all. The women's Korean hockey team has a unified symbol, okay? No political statement. No diplomatic statement. But God forbid the USA has the Statue of Liberty on their goalie mask and it's a political statement. You damn people have gone crazy. I should calm down. I got to have a nice show today. I may have big people watching. I mean, Trump could be watching. You know how offended he would be at my kind of language? I'm not doing that. IOC may force, leave that up, may force women. We understand the decision to remove the Statue of Liberty from their helmets because it's deemed a political symbol. Two goalies in the United States women's hockey team may be forced to change the artwork on their helmet to remove images of the Statue of Liberty. According to the IOC, the Statue of Liberty may constitute a political symbol and thus violate IOC rules, which forbid any such images. I got to go to break. Hey, we got the, who was it? Was it Lauren Ingram that said, you know, it looked like a Massengale's commercial? All right, I'm serious. I didn't say it. We can look it up. You got the picture of Obama, the portrait that was revealed yesterday? Holy smokes. Really, dude? Really? Really? First of all, you throw out the first pitch in your grandmother's jeans. You remember the grandmother jeans that you wore when you went to throw out the White Sox or whatever first pitch at a baseball game? Really? You took a picture out in the field like that? I hope you feel fresh. Fresh as a morning daisy or dew. What the hell? Man up. And then put the one of Michelle. I can't see in that portrait. I want to look at it. Michelle's like, you know, the picture of Michelle, if you look at that real close, you know she's got to be saying, oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, you know, she was probably shocked when that was unfair. We'll talk about that. Oh, you shouldn't have. I can't see that. I'm going to look during the break. Does that reveal her man hands? Or it doesn't? Okay, I was just wondering. Don't get mad at me. Why the hell does everybody get mad at me? I'm having too much fun. I should have just stayed home because it's too much fun. So, Amanda, you've had the talk. I'm happy we got that behind us, okay? The boys naturally. Folks, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. And please do not send the hate mail to Amanda because I just don't think you should be sending the hate mail to Amanda knowing that her boys naturally knew which bathroom to go in. We'll talk more about that later. Take us to break. Don't forget. No, wait. Don't forget. Speaker of the House at 9:30. Infrastructure. We're going to talk about it. What's it mean to Georgia? Why is there a $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill being prepared, but only $200 billion put out from the government? What does public-private partnerships getting the private sector involved? What does all that mean? And especially for Georgia. We're going to ask Speaker of the House David Ralston at 9:30. We'll be back right after these messages with something on Susan Rice because God knows she would not lie. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers, and North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're on a little better roll right now. We apologize for the FYNTV.com technical error, but I understand early on in the show we did redirect to our YouTube channel. So let me just say now before we get started, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching or listening to North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would like to get in touch with the show, that is 706-889-9700. If you would like to email us, that is chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com, 706-889-9700. And then you can follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, at FYNTV. And also, folks, if you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News, then anytime we're broadcasting live or we upload a video, you will get a notification on that. So if you can do that now, and find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram. There's no hiding. You can't escape what's happening. Now, let me look at this really quick, okay? The Georgia delegation. Now, I want to set this up. Put up the Georgia delegation there, okay? And yesterday morning, the President of the United States unveiled his infrastructure bill that he wants $1.5 trillion. And in that picture there, from the left to right, Georgia Department of Natural Resources Commissioner Mark Williams, Georgia Department of Agriculture Gary Black, Georgia Speaker of the House David Ralston, Georgia Department of Transportation Commissioner Russell McMurray, and Georgia Department of Transportation Director of Planning Jay Roberts. That's who's in that picture. They attended that meeting yesterday morning, and we're going to talk specifically about Georgia, the $1.5 trillion infrastructure. Now, what is important here is we passed here in Georgia, okay, we passed, was it HB 170, the Transportation Funding Act, okay? And in the Transportation Funding Act, we raised taxes in Georgia almost $1 billion, like 800 and some $million. And this is from the Hill, okay? This is from the Hill on April 2nd of 2015. Georgia hikes gas tax, okay? Georgia is increasing the amount of money drivers in the state will have to pay at the pump to help pay for transportation projects. All right. The Georgia General Assembly has approved legislation to increase the gas tax to 26 cents per gallon starting July 1st, according to the report. The measure would replace an existing 19 cent per gallon sales tax with a fuel levy that would be dedicated solely to transportation projects, okay? The additional money for the Georgia road projects will be collected on top of the 18.4 cents per gallon federal gas tax. Now, before we get into the infrastructure too deep, and leave those guys up there for a minute, I have a question for you, America. I asked my State Senator Steve Gooch, this one time. I've asked others at a different time. Amanda, let me ask you a question. Now, I got to bring you into this because you did so well on the first one, okay? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, because I don't know, you might be doing something in there. All right, she's ready. Now, when you go to the store, now I know you're going to say, quit asking dumb questions, all right? But when you go to the store and you check out at the grocery store and you look at your receipt on the bottom, can you see a subtotal, and then can you see your taxes and then your total on that receipt?
Yes.
Okay. Stay with me. Now you go over to the drugstore and you got to pick up some stuff. You got to pick up some stuff. Everybody's got to have cotton swabs, right? We'll use cotton swabs, right? So you've run out of cotton. You got to go over there, get cotton swabs, get the peroxide, whatever the hell else you got to get. You got all these kids in the house. But at the end of when you check out, you see a subtotal, your tax, and a total, correct?
Yes.
When's the last time you went to the gas station and told them to give you 20 on pump 5, and when they printed you out a receipt, you saw anything that resembled the taxes you just paid on that $20?
Never.
Never. That's right. They will not show you on a receipt. I have argued that for years. If you went to the pump and you said, give me 20 on pump 10, all right? And you got 20 and you realized without state and federal taxes, you could have got another, 2 gallons of gas or something. I'm serious as can be. And I've heard there's such a fluctuation that there's no way to actually print out the tax on gas. It wouldn't be, it would be too cumbersome. I disagree, because you have 46 per gallon. Let's see, the American Petroleum Institute says the gas tax increase will keep the total amount of money that drivers in Georgia are charged at the pump to more than 46 cents per gallon, because it will offset by eliminating excise taxes. But the measure would replace that. But listen to this. In addition, the additional money for Georgia projects tops 18.4 cents for federal gas tax. Folks, your federal gas tax, I thought, was supposed to maintain infrastructure, okay? I thought fuel tax stickers, remember the old fuel tax sticker? Do they still have them? I don't know. But I don't know if they do on truckers. Do truckers still pay a fuel tax sticker? Do they still have to buy a fuel tax sticker? I don't know. But I remember in the old days, the truckers had to buy a fuel tax sticker for every single state they entered into to pay for the trucks to run on their roads. We have had so many things in taxation to pay for us to use and upkeep our infrastructure. What's next? So, I just wanted to put that up. Now, I'm going to give the Speaker of the House an opportunity to tell us where this fits in. I do agree the infrastructure's crumbled. I myself have not traveled throughout the world, but I have friends that have traveled to talk about the major highways and the high-speed rail and just so many different things when it comes to transportation and infrastructure modernized in the world, that we're actually behind. It is crumbling. I'm just going to take their picture down. This is not fair to them, okay? I'm just going to tell you this, all right? Whatever happens with the infrastructure projects in this country, please, my God, pay attention to how many bridges to nowhere get funded. I can start giving you highways, all right? All across this country that you could drive on and you can wonder, why did they build this highway? Bridges to nowhere. Please watch for this. You keep saying, I know what's happening. Well, Donald Trump will make sure of this and that. Folks, he is one man, one president of the United States. He is dealing with a complete corrupt Senate. When I say complete, I know. You just said, well, wait a minute, not every senator. But I'm talking in a total, a corrupt Senate that just Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell just gave you a spending bill. A corrupt House of Representatives. I'm sorry. They will take this money and put it on projects. I'm just saying. I probably shouldn't have got worked up over that one. Let's go with this next before we get to that. Let's put the... Did we already show the picture of Obama sitting there in the dew full of daisies? Let's show it again. What were you thinking, man? I might have to say that all day. What the hell were you thinking? Oh, my God. All right. Susan Rice, put her picture up there. Susan Rice. Where's that at? All right. Judge Napolitano, which I like the judge, okay? Judge Napolitano reacted. Now, Susan Rice wrote a email on the day of inauguration, And Judge Napolitano has revelations that Obama administrator's advisor, Susan Rice, sent an unusual email to herself on Donald Trump's inauguration day. Ex-National Security Advisor Susan Rice sent an unusual email to herself the day President Trump was sworn into office, documenting former President Barack Obama's guidance at a high-level meeting about how law enforcement should investigate Russian interference in the 2016 presidential race, two Republican senators said Monday, according to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham. The partially unclassified email was sent by Rice on January 20th and appears to document a January 5th, okay? Now, this happened at a January 5th meeting that included Obama, then FBI Director James Comey, then Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, then Vice President Joe Biden, and Rice. So on January 5th, remember POTUS wants to know everything. Am I wrong, Amanda? Didn't that say POTUS wants to know everything, right? Everything. Okay, it's got to double check, because that's what Lisa Page sent Peter Strzok from the FBI. POTUS wants to know everything, all right? So he was briefed on where everything was at all times. We don't have time to go in that. So on January 5th, 15 days before Donald Trump is sworn in, there's a meeting between FBI Director James Comey, Sally Yates, which is then Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates. See, they know Sally Yates. Now, I mean, all day long, people will break this stuff down, but they know, okay, Sally Yates is going to move over as the acting director of the Department of Justice. So you have the FBI, you have the Department of Justice. Now, why not Loretta Lynch? I don't see her. Let me read this again. It appears to document a January 5th meeting that included Obama, FBI Director Comey, so he's got the FBI, he's got the Department of Justice, then Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, then Vice President Joe Biden, and then Susan Rice. Where's Loretta Lynch? Why is she not in there? I'll tell you exactly why she's not in there, because they knew on January 20th at 12:01 p.m. when Donald Trump went like this, that Sally Yates would then be the acting director of the Department of Justice, and Susan Rice, which is a liar. She is a no-good liar. She lied to the American people. I'm going to tell you something. I know you say politicians do it every day, but when these people get before the cameras and they lie to the American people concerning especially Benghazi and the lives of Americans, you know, I can't get started. Can't get sidetracked. I'm talking to myself here now. So, acting Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates is in the meeting, and Susan Rice. In the email, Obama's National Security Advisor wrote, President Obama began the conversation but stressed his continued commitment to ensuring that every aspect of this issue be handled by the intelligence and law enforcement communities by the book. The president stressed that he is not asked about initiating or instructing anything from law enforcement perspective. He reiterated that our law enforcement team needs to proceed as it normally would by the book. And see, when he said by the book, then he looked, right? Then he looked and he said, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? I mean, you got it, right? Because when I walk out of here in 15 days, all right, we'll take Flynn down. That's the national security, right? Pence is over here, all right? Got Trump. We'll have Sally Yates and Comey. We're set by the book. You understand? You understand? You understand? I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you, by the book. And I'll tell you why. He looked at me, winked. This is a guy sitting in a field full of daisies. Oh, my God. Napolitano said it appeared to be an effort by Susan Rice to reconstruct history. He said Rice wanted to make Obama appear to be, I don't think ignorant. Yeah, appeared to be ignorant of the fray fomented by his administration to undermine the incoming president. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I didn't have nothing to do with it. Napolitano noted that Obama himself, to Fox's Chris Wallace in 2016, that he didn't speak to anyone at the Department of Justice about any campaign-related investigations. There's a serious disconnect here, Napolitano said. Susan Rice, once again, the list goes on. We cannot continue to go over and over it all the time, because I'm not saying it gets boring, but we are now, that's upsetting. Now we're going to go to break. Let me just say something before we go to break. 36 people. I'm just rolling around the internet, and there's an article out this morning at 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. this article comes out, and it says 36 people who could challenge Trump in 2020. I just thought it was interesting, the headline, right? And Barry Sanders, did I say Barry? Bernie Sanders, that would be it. Vice President Biden, Senator Christian Gillibrand, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Camelia Harris, former talk show host Oprah Winfrey, former Attorney General Eric Holder, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro, is that his name? I don't know. Former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. The list goes on. But here's how I look at it. Donald Trump took out 16. So what's 36? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about immigration when I come back. All right? And we're going to prepare for our conversation. Our last half hour of the day, we're going to have a brief discussion with Georgia Speaker of the House David Ralston, and then concerning his trip to Washington, D.C., and what the infrastructure bill would mean to Georgia. Also the budget. $4 trillion something budget that the president proposed. What's next? Quadrillion, right? Is that next? Am I here alone? Talking to myself. We'll get right back. Now, I have some bad news. You're going to want to tune in, because not only have they taken and attacked our Confederate statues and symbols in this country, not only have they done that, they are trying to change everything. And now they've gone after ZZ Top. I will explain on the other side of these commercials. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Folks, they're on the floor of the Senate, and I could do one or two things. I could report to you on all of the ridiculous things going on, or we can just hold that right now. They're debating immigration. They're debating DACA, okay? I'm your host, BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, we're going to go to break at 9:26. So that way we can come back at 9:30. And don't forget, Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston, will be with us. And we're going to talk to him about what the president's infrastructure bill means for Georgia. Now, an article in The Hill last night at 7:22. Trump's infrastructure plan gets cold reception. Okay, President Trump's proposal to revamp the nation's roads and bridges landed with a thud on Monday, with Democrats chastising the $200 billion federal offer as too small to address the nation's needs. Okay, so it got a cold reception. He called a Republican reaction, okay, were much more positive, with Speaker Paul Ryan saying Trump was right to make improving infrastructure a national priority. Now, supposedly it takes 10 years. And watch, you will have leftists tie themselves to bulldozers. Didn't we have a group that wanted to, what did you tell me, Amanda, they at the military parade, right? Don't we already have a sign-up sheet? Is that sign-up sheet still going around, Amanda, for the people that want to throw themselves in front of a tank at the military parade?
It's still happening.
Is it still? They want to.
I'm pretty sure they're up to 15.
They're up to 15?
Yep. Okay.
That's no big deal. I've seen Evel Knievel jump more wacko buses, you know. So 15 are signed up that want to put themselves and recreate Tiananmen Square in China and let them run over. It takes 10 years, okay, to get some of these projects approved. The president's going to cut the red tape. We're going to talk about that at 9:30 with Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston. Okay, now I take issue. The one thing that I'm very upset with, okay, is, and this is, I'm going to have a drum roll, Amanda, okay? You're going to have a drum roll ready for me. You know, I don't know, I've never heard you do the drum roll, but you will need to be ready, okay? I draw the line when they take on ZZ Top, because this is one of my favorites right here. One of my favorites, right here. Jesus just left Chicago, bound for Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Yes, Jesus just left Chicago. Jesus just left Chicago. Now I take issue when they want to change the song to Jesus just left Chicago. Was that wrong? Why did I get a dirty look? Amanda, was that bad? Sorry. Jesus just left Chicago. Because Jeff Sessions said no sanctuary city. Anyhow, folks, I'm sorry. At this time, before every day now, we're giving Amanda an opportunity to go through a couple of the websites that she picks up stories on, and she sends to me, and I briefly look over them, and I get a little nervous sometimes, but there's no censorship, right, Amanda? Have I sent back to you yet and said don't talk about any particular one?
Your theme is anything goes.
There you go.
You know that, right?
Yeah, well, there's going to be the day. You make me nervous. You think I make you know what, you make me nervous. You just do. I mean, you really do. You make me nervous. It's like, you know. So, you know how I feel like when Bugs Bunny fought the Crusher. Have you ever seen Bugs Bunny fight the Crusher? No? How do you get through life? How do you get through your day if you don't remember Bugs Bunny fighting the Crusher?
I've never even seen the Goonies.
Okay, Amanda, what do you have that what stories do you have this morning that you would like to discuss?
I have one for you. Do you remember the Northeastern professor caught saying he wouldn't mind seeing Trump dead?
Okay.
Apologized following backlash. A Northeastern University professor who was caught on video during a lecture saying that he wouldn't mind seeing President Trump dead is apologizing amid a social media backlash and a statement from the school distancing itself from the remarks. I'm not gonna tell him to go to nowhere.
No, don't do that today. Don't do that today.
But you know, at least he apologized.
Okay, at least he apologized. All right.
You know, when it's civil like that, at the, I mean, he did during the lecture, probably did get heated, but he did apologize.
All right, well, here's the one I thought, I was, when I read this yesterday, I said, Amanda is going to talk about this one. Did you see the Daily Wire? Church celebrates transgender pastor's transition with renaming a ceremony?
Yes. Ugh.
On Sunday, a Lutheran church in New Jersey celebrated the female-to-male transition of a pastor with renaming a ceremony. Transgender pastor Rose Beeson of St. Matthew's Trinity Lutheran Church in Hoboken, oh, Frank Sinatra, we're sorry, from Hoboken, was called Peter. Rose went to Peter. Oh my God, by Lutheran Bishop Tracy Bartholomew to mark the pastor's gender transition. So let me ask you a question. Am I reading this correct that they actually held a ceremony to do like a religious transition on transgender? Did I get that right, Amanda?
You did. It was the transgender New Jersey pastor. Yeah, that's just not how any of this works.
That's not just how any of this works.
It's not. It's just this. It doesn't work this way. That's really all I have to say about it. Yeah, I'm trying to be, reserved right now, but yeah, that's not how any of this works.
Well, what I'm saying is, there's here's what concerns me. Okay, now the Lutheran Church. Okay, I'm not going to say on air what I want to. But then when I say that, then people are thinking, right? Okay. So yeah, the Lutheran Church, let's just say, let's not get into the Lutheran Church, but let's just go into some of the ceremonies, we'll call them, in the church. Catholic, Lutheran, they sprinkle a baby, right? You with me?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I grew up in the South, so.
Could you just stay with me?
I'm with you.
All right, thank you. They sprinkle the baby, right? And then some churches have a dedication. You dedicate the child. You come forward. The baby's a year old, and you dedicate the child, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you have confirmation. Now, this is what makes me nervous, because where I grew up in New Jersey. Oh, did I say that out loud? All right, well, no retracting that. But where I grew up, the majority of the kids I went to school with, are Catholic. They're Catholic, okay? So every year, there was a whole group that was going to confirmation, right? They're going to confirmation. There's so many different ceremonies. There is the ordained, being ordained in the church at different levels. So many different things. So it looks like they've added a transgender celebration. Am I wrong here? All right, I guess I better move on from this one. I thought you would pick that one out, Amanda. You caught me off guard. I thought that one, I was like, I know Amanda's picked that one out.
I did see that yesterday. I can't believe I missed it this morning either.
All right, anything else you have?
No, that's pretty much it. I was going to let you update us on some curling.
No. There'll be no curling updates today. No curling updates today.
Thank God.
So, anyhow, folks, Byron York put up Michael Flynn. Now, remember, lying to the FBI is a crime. Okay? Susan Rice lying to the American people, all right? Now, you got to remember, Susan Rice had the same job as Michael Flynn, National Security Advisor to Obama. Don't forget. Don't forget, James Comey was in the room with Susan Rice, the National Security Advisor, assistant, okay, Department of Justice, Attorney General Sally Yates, Comey, Biden, and herself. So the National Security Advisor is sitting in there. Michael Flynn is charged with lying to the FBI. Now, they wiretapped Flynn, and we can't go into a whole lot of detail on this for timing reasons. They wiretapped Michael Flynn. They have all the tapes, okay? And if you walk in, 6 months after the fact, and you start getting asked questions by none other than Peter Strzok, okay? And it doesn't match the audio, okay, of the recording of the phone conversation, they will turn it into you lied to the FBI. So without going into great length, Flynn is accused of lying to the FBI. All right? Now, interestingly, we have not seen, or do we know, on Robert Mueller, the special counsel's report yet. But interestingly, Flynn's charges have not resulted yet in a bunch of arrests. See, Papadopoulos and Flynn and what's his name, Paul Manafort. These were supposed to result in just one arrest after another. But Byron York from the Washington Examiner, Comey told Congress FBI agents didn't think Michael Flynn lied. In March of 2017, the FBI director, James Comey, briefed a number of Capitol Hill lawmakers on the Trump-Russian investigation. One topic of intense interest was the case of Michael Flynn, the Trump White House National Security Advisor who resigned under pressure on February 13 after 24 days in the job. Okay? There was widespread reports that Flynn had lied to Vice President Michael Pence about telephone conversations that Flynn had with Russian Ambassador Kislyak, Sergei Kislyak, during the transition in late December. On January 24th, two of Comey's FBI agents went to the White House to question Flynn, and there was a lot of speculation later that Flynn lied in the interview, which would be a serious crime. The January 24th interview potentially put Flynn in legal jeopardy, the Washington Post reported in February. Lying to the FBI is a felony offense. There was a lot of concern in Congress, at least among Republicans, about the leak of the wiretapping Flynn-Kislyak conversation. You see, there was a lot of leaking going on, and there was a leak of the Michael Flynn, your national security advisor, and Kislyak's conversation. Such intelligence is classified in high level of security. Yet some Republicans suspected Obama appointees in the Justice Department and intelligence community revealed it to the press. Go back to Susan Rice. Okay? Republicans suspect Obama appointees in the Justice Department. Sally Yates, okay, which we know Susan Rice wrote the email, play it by the book, wink, wink, you know what I mean, right? She's the NSA. Sally Yates, she is the Attorney General, the Assistant Attorney General of the United States, soon to be the Attorney General for Donald Trump's administration until Jeff Sessions gets confirmed. Republicans expect appointees in the Justice Department, Sally Yates, and intelligence community, okay? Intelligence community, James Clapper, Susan Rice, Brennan, revealed it to the press. We know Brennan, Susan Rice, Clapper, Sally Yates. We know that. So in March, lawmakers wanted Flynn, wanted Comey to tell them what was up. And what they heard from the director did not match what we're hearing in the media. According to two sources familiar with the meeting, Comey told lawmakers that the FBI agents who interviewed Flynn did not believe that Flynn had lied to them or that any inaccuracies in his answers were intentional. As a result, some of those in attendance came away with the impression that Flynn would not be charged with a crime pertaining to the January 24th interview. 9 months later, with Comey gone and special counsel Robert Mueller, which is Comey's friend, we get called conspiracy theorists. All right, Robert Mueller, former FBI director, in charge of the Trump-Russia investigation. Flynn pleaded guilty to one count of making false statements to the FBI in a January 24th questioning. All right, so what happened with Flynn waiting sentencing that was recently delayed until at least May? Some lawmakers are trying to figure out what actually, between the time Comey told Congress the FBI did not believe Flynn lied, and the time several months later when Flynn pled guilty to just that. Put up Michael Flynn's picture. Okay, folks, with Comey. Lying to the FBI is a crime. Ask Scooter Libby, ask people in Watergate, lying to the FBI. Why did so many of Hillary Clinton's friends, Susan Rice, okay, I'm losing some names, Abedin, I'm losing some names, why did they plead the fifth? And the media is trying to make a big deal on why Donald Trump, President of the United States, should interview with Mueller. Go ahead and take that down. Let's go over a couple of the president's tweets here, President Donald Trump, before we get to the bottom of the hour and our upcoming interview with Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. Our infrastructure plan has been put forward, okay, and has received great reviews by everyone except, of course, the Democrats. After many years, we have taken care of our military. All right, now we have to fix our roads, bridges, tunnels, airports, and more. Bipartisan, make deal Dems, okay? So, make deal Dems. 3 hours ago, the President of the United States tweeted out, negotiations on DACA have begun. Republicans want to make a deal, and Democrats say they want to make a deal. Wouldn't it be great if we could finally, after so many years, solve the DACA puzzle? This will be our last chance. There will never be another opportunity. March 5th. That's the deadline, March 5th. They are on the floor going back and forth over DACA. We have a $4 trillion budget, $1.5 trillion in infrastructure. Now, there are a whole list. Now, if you read what's going on, you have the media making you think that President Donald Trump's budget, kids will starve to death, seniors will no longer get medication, kids will no longer have health care, all the programs will go away that we need so badly in this country, according to the left, that will end under President Trump's budget. Let's go ahead and take, let me see what else I have. I think I want to take another brief break, and what will happen is when the speaker calls in, we will just go to card if we're ready. How about that? Are we good with that, Amanda? Okay, so let's take another brief break while I set up another story I want to talk about, okay?
I've had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear
Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead. 'Tis the season of huge year-end discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Every 2017 and 2018 Chevy is discounted deep right now. Like $5,000 off Equinox LT from $26,750, or a whopping $10,000 off new Silverado Crew Cabs from $33,695. Unwrap huge holiday savings on every Chevy at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we make the holidays bright.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Ah, yeah. It might be cold outside, but there's no one cooler than you. You're the man with a plan, doing your thing like only you can. You're cooking up more than just a delicious dinner for two. You're preparing that delectable dish spelled L-O-V-E. Heat things up this Valentine's Day at Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Folks, the budget, President Donald Trump released a budget yesterday, a $4.4 trillion budget for 2019. As you well know, it will starve, according to the media, it will starve children. I mean, the list goes on. They will kill Big Bird. All right, write this down today. How long? This is like the clock. Okay, it may already be out there. Okay, but we will hear Big Bird will die. Right. So the Corporation for Public Broadcasting support public radio, television, and other public media. In 2017, $495 million. In 2019, the proposed budget is $15 million. Okay, so watch how fast before Big Bird. Okay, they bring Big Bird into it. Always Big Bird. National Endowment for the Arts. 2017, $150 billion. In 2019, $29 million. Did I say million? 150 million in 2017, down to 29 million. Okay. National Endowment for Humanities. Oh, the humanity. 2017, 150 billion to 2019, 42 billion. Okay. Federal work study. 2017, 990 million in that budget. 2019 proposed 200 million. Grants to Amtrak. All right. 1.495 billion cut to 738 million. Okay. Energy Star and voluntary climate programs. Okay. Energy Star, okay, and voluntary climate programs provide energy efficient labels for products like clothes dryers, all right? Look for Star Energy on your appliances. In 2017, there was $66 million. In 2019, it is zero, okay? Superfund, the Superfund. This is, I'm not supposed to say this, right? But this is the EPA program for cleanup environmental contaminated sites. 1.089 billion is down to 762 million. There's a whole list of things that are cut in this budget. But the New York Times, White House proposed 4.4 trillion and will add 7 trillion to the deficit. This goes for Republicans and Democrats. All right? Republicans and Democrats. I like how no matter who's in charge and who's in power, okay, the opposite party finds the Constitution and the debt. Now, folks, we're about 3 minutes away when Speaker David Ralston is supposed to be calling the show. Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston. We got about 6 or 7 minutes with him. We'll get all we can, but we're going to be talking about the infrastructure meeting yesterday, the rollout of the $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill, and ask him what does that mean for Georgia, okay? And as soon as we do, we're not going to commercial. I just want to explain to you, you will see our standby card or show card. Is that what we have ready? You just see our show card, and it will only take like 15, 20 seconds for us to make sure that the audio is good and the speaker can hear. We have clear audio, and then we'll come back. So don't think we're going to commercial. I'll just let you know when we're going to have a temporary pause. All right. So anyhow, the budget's released. We're talking about DACA. All right. And what do you think? We ask this every day. Okay. Do you think there should be a pathway to citizenship? For those of you out there, well, I'll explain after I finish with the Speaker of the House. Should there be a pathway to citizenship for the people that have come here illegally by no fault of their own? No fault of their own. Should there be a pathway to citizenship? The infrastructure bill, which, like I said, I'm patiently waiting here, making sure we get the speaker on the line, and trying to check to make sure there's nothing new going on that I need to know about out there to report. Always got to check in here. New York Times CEO declares that print will be dead in 10 years. Fetcher News, we knew that quite some time ago. Americans expect biggest pay jump in years. Record number of small businesses owners say good time to expand. Okay. The stock market came back 400 points. Yes, many of you are the joke PF Chang 2018. A lot of people noticed that on one of the news networks that actually put the symbol up for the Olympics and said PF Chang's 2018. So we don't think the Olympics was sponsored by PF Chang. Do I have the volume on that phone or something? I guess I got to be careful because sometimes I turn the volume off and I want to make sure that the ringer is on. Is the call is good? Okay. All right. We'll let you know as soon as the Speaker of the House, David Ralston, calls in this morning. Before I do that, you have also from the Hill, GOP senators question unusual message Susan Rice sent herself on Inauguration Day. Okay? Grassley, two top Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee, are questioning former National Security Advisor Susan Rice about an unusual message she sent to herself on January 20th, 2017, President Trump's Inauguration Day. Okay? Grassley and Senator Graham questioned Rice why she sent a note detailing a conversation she observed on January 5th by FBI Director James Comey. Folks, we are patiently awaiting for the Speaker of the House of Georgia, David Ralston, to call in. Obviously, they're in session, and he may have something on the floor going on. The House Communication Director did send us a confirmation this morning that he would be calling in. So let's just take a brief break, and we'll come directly back when he calls in. We'll just break from where we're at. So we're going to take a brief break, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have Georgia House Speaker David Ralston on the phone. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas.
Okay, we're back. Joining me now, Republican from Blue Ridge, also Georgia Speaker of the House, David Ralston. Mr. Speaker, how are you today? Well, I owe you an apology for asking that question because I know you probably came off the floor to make this call to talk to us, and thank you for taking the time out of the busy session that's active right now. But yesterday you attended the president's rollout of the infrastructure plan. Is that correct?
I did. I was honored to be asked to represent the state of Georgia at President Trump's announcement of his infrastructure plan at the White House, and we had a great day.
Okay, well, let's get directly into what does there's a little confusion this morning, and obviously the Democrats are making their accusations of what this plan won't do. What will this plan do, and how will it benefit Georgia?
This plan is designed to rebuild and repair our vital infrastructure, such as roads and bridges. The president has also put a great emphasis on making high-speed broadband available to rural areas. I anticipate there will be some assistance for transit. Truly, this plan is going to benefit every part of the country and every part of our economy. And what it will ultimately do is, over a 10-year period, will involve an investment of up to $1.7 trillion. Not all of that will be public funds. His plan is to leverage some of the public funds with private investment. But it truly is a big and bold plan on the part of this president to do something on the scale of which we haven't done in our history of the country.
Let me just read this brief statement that I read from the White House, and there's a couple things in there that I would say that are underlying questions of where the money comes from. It's $1.7 trillion infrastructure, but the federal government's only going to put out $200 billion. And from the White House website, the president's plan designates half of its $200 billion for matching funds to stimulate state, local, and private investment. Rather than telling governors and mayors what to do, we will partner with them as they invest in the most pressing projects in the highest needed places. And moving this infrastructure off the government's balance sheet into private investment. Where does the rest of the money come from to do these projects. I mean, how does this work? Was that explained to you when you were up there yesterday?
There was a lot of discussion about that, and I think one of the key parts of the plan will be public-private partnerships. And we've done a few of those in Georgia in transportation, and I think they have a really good future where the government enters into contracts with private providers to build roads and then maintain those roads. So I think public-private partnerships are going to be a big part of this plan. And let me pick up on another point you just made. This was actually the second time I had been to the White House. The first time we did not meet with the president. We met with some of his cabinet people and other staff to talk about putting the plan together. This was probably back in late August of last summer. And between the two meetings, it is very clear to me that this president wants to hear from state and local governments. He wants their input, and that this program is going to be their program. It's not going to be the federal government telling state and locals what to do. And I think that is so important and such a change than what we've had, particularly over the 8 years prior to him being elected president.
Right now, we're looking at for permits. For permits, we're looking at sometimes 10 years to get clearance and permits through the EPA and several government agencies to move forward with so many transportation projects or whatever they may be. How exciting is it to hear that we may get that squeezed down to 2 years to get some of these projects underway that are on the books?
Oh, it's incredibly exciting, and I think it's going to be truly a game changer. In fact, the president made the comment yesterday that he would like to see us think about going down to 1 year. And one of the things that is used as an example of how you can cut through the permitting process is what the state of Georgia did with rebuilding the bridge on Interstate 85 last spring after the fire caused the collapse. We came in about 6 weeks ahead of schedule through a combination of cutting out and cutting down on the permit time, as well as giving incentives to the contractor and their employees. So these are things that I think that this president coming out of the private sector, and he made the point a couple of times or more yesterday that he said, I build things. I built things all my life. I build big buildings. I build hotels, and so he knows how to get these things done, and he knows how to get them done in a cost-efficient manner. And he's bringing some of that same background now to the White House.
I know you only have about 2 minutes, so can you give us one or two projects that stick out to you in the state of Georgia that you would like to see this go towards, or the first couple projects that you would like to get started on with this kind of infrastructure spending? And I want to make these quick, Mr. Speaker, because you got to get back. I got one or two quick questions besides this.
I think the first project I hope we can work on in Georgia is high-speed broadband in rural Georgia. As you and I have talked before, we have worked very diligently in the House of Representatives since the end of the 2017 session to look at ways that we can stimulate development and job growth in the rural parts of our state. I think a real foundational part of our efforts we have found is making sure that we can get high-speed broadband into every part of Georgia. We have areas or regions in our area up in North Georgia that have very, very slow internet connection speeds. people I think know what I'm talking about, and so I'm excited that maybe we'll be able to use some of these funds there as a first priority.
Do you see this enhancing HB 170, which a couple of years ago, the state of Georgia, you've been working down there for several years. To some people it's popular, some people it's not, but you've been working for several years on infrastructure in Georgia on the state level. Would this help enhance HB 170 and some of the projects that are on the books where that's concerned?
Well, let me tell you who HB 170 is popular with, Brian. President Donald Trump. His staff told us yesterday, they singled us out along with a couple of other states that had stepped up to the plate, not waited on the federal government to act, but did what we had to do to take care of the resources in our state. And we're actually going to now get credit in this infrastructure package for doing that, and there will be no penalty. So this president actually commended us, and so people that want to be critical of that bill might want to align themselves with the president's opponents because he sure was complimentary.
On the regulations, this president has cut more regulations in 1 year, actually, than Ronald Reagan did in 8 years. And, I love President Reagan. The regulations, can you give me one or two projects that regulations have been holding up that you think if this passes and it gets done, that this could move a couple projects along? And then I only have one quick other thing, and I know you got to get back to work, sir.
I really am reluctant to name any, Brian, because that's going to sound as if those have some priority, but I can tell you that there are highway projects around the state that have been delayed now for 10 or 12 or more years, waiting on these permits to be obtained. Those are now going to, the brush is going to be cleared, and we can get to work on those in a way and in a priority that we will determine here in Georgia.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we appreciate when you go to Washington, D.C. and do the work of the people here in Georgia. And I know this was the very last thing on your mind when you got there, but by any chance, did you happen to mention to the president about the guy that knew he would win from day one? I mean, you didn't get that opportunity, did you?
I didn't, Brian. I did mention to his staff that we do want him to come back. I invited them to bring him down here for one of our Rural Development Council meetings, and also to come back to a Georgia football game. But don't leave at halftime this time because he's a winner and he left and we came up a little short. But I promise you, I understand we're going to be going back later in the spring, and I promise you that I will make sure that he knows that he needs to go on Fetcher News and be interviewed by Brian Pritchard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Greatly appreciate it. I know you have to get back to the floor, and we look forward to talking to you at the end of the session. You always give us an opportunity to do a post-session interview, and we appreciate it. We know you got to get back to work. You have a nice day, sir.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Okay, we were we were speaking with Georgia Speaker of the House David Ralston, and I want to tell you, and we're going to clip that right there. We'll have that interview up, and we will get back with the speaker at a later time. We'll get back with the speaker on a later time on things that are going on in the House, and I wanted him to bring out some things. Popular or not, what did we learn this morning? Popular or not, okay? Maybe I brought this up, okay? HB 170, all right? He said it's popular with the President of the United States, okay? HB 170 was passed. HB 170 was passed in 2015. And it is we call it the gas tax, and he said that actually was highlighted with the president. All right, so what say you? What do you think about that? Georgia led the way according to him and was highlighted. what do you think about the public-private partnerships? Here is my concern, okay? This is not taking, by no means, all right, a Democrat side. My concern is when Democrats say $200 billion of federal spending offered as small to address the nation's need. This is not real infrastructure plan. It is simply another scam, an attempt to sell our nation's infrastructure and create windfall profit for Wall Street while rolling back environmental protections, said Representative Peter DeFazio. Now, the House, he's a ranking member on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. Now, here is my concern, and I'm not taking up for a Democrat. So how do you get my concern out without doing that? The bottom line is I do get concerned when these infrastructure bills pass, okay? And when these special tax initiatives pass, state, local, or national, all right, that the people that issue bonds, the bond companies out there, they pop the champagne, all right? Because let me tell you something, and this is not taking the state of Georgia to task. It's really not, okay? I don't want this to be a negative report, but we're going to use Georgia for an example, all right? On the M&O, the Georgia state budget, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, on the Georgia state budget, the Georgia state constitution requires us, thank God it does and not Illinois, we do have a AAA bond rating. We do have a great bond rating. Georgia is not in a financial bond dilemma like New Jersey and Illinois and Connecticut, and Georgia does. We don't have that I'm aware of any cities right now that are filing bankruptcy that I'm not aware of. We don't have a Detroit. We don't have a Hartford, Connecticut. Okay, we don't have that here. But what I'm getting to is the state constitution requires the legislative session to balance the budget. It's required. So they need more money. They have to make some changes, change fees, whatever, but they have to balance it. What they do not have to show is the bonds, only the bond payments. So let's say, for example, the state of Georgia every month has to pay out $100 million in bond payments. That's in the budget, but the actual bond itself is not in the yearly budget, only the payment. So my concern with this, when they say that Wall Street is cheering, okay, are the bond companies. Because when a local government, like your county, like your school system, passes an e-splost, and we're not going down the road whether an e-splost is needed or not to buy buses, whatever. We're not going down the road of a splost in your county. A special purpose local option sales tax is necessary to buy new cars for government officials in the county, or pay for certain projects in the county. We're not going down that road. But what I am saying is the very minute you pass a splost, no matter what it is, they're like vultures. The bonding companies are like vultures ready for you to buy those bonds. A school system passed a bond referendum. When you vote, you say, yeah, you can tax, you can sell those bonds. On the state level, when they do these infrastructure projects, the bonds, okay, that are available, they're waiting for them. So on the federal level, so that's one thing I have to say concerns me a little bit. Now, I'm not a leftist environmentalist. Okay, I'm not an environmental wacko. Okay, I'm not a leftist environmental wacko. Okay, I'm really not. But projects going from 10 years, okay, to 2 years, and being held up under a dozen lawsuits by different agencies, environmental interest, to stop a road, a bridge, even internet to go across the water, through the water, over the river, and through the woods. I mean, who could get to grandma's house anymore? All right? If she moved, it's on the other side of the water. You're not going to see grandma because it'll take 10 years just to get the permits to get a bridge across it. So what we built in this country, whether it be the Harbor Thruway Tunnel in Baltimore, whether it be the bridges of the George Washington Bridge, whether it be the Skyway that crosses over there at Tampa Bay from to St. Petersburg or St. Pete, right, in Tampa, wherever. But you know what I'm saying? It's come to a screeching halt. But environmentalists are going to fight this, okay? And the Democrats are going to fight this, but you heard what the Speaker of the House of Georgia said. I'm waiting to see what really this could benefit, all right? I'm pretty good with that being all I have today. Amanda, do you have anything? Okay, you know, earlier, I don't want to go into too much, but earlier you actually told me, and let's finish on a silly note, all right? Let's have some fun. Oh, speaking of a silly note, why did this remind me? Blue Ridge City Council has a meeting tonight. Now let's finish on a silly note, okay? So you do know who Bugs Bunny is, right? Get your mic on. You do know who Bugs Bunny is, please, right?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Okay, but you don't remember when he fought the Crusher, right?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Yosemite Sam is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who Foghorn Leghorn is?
No.
No. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. Running through. All right. So I think there should be like certain things on college entry exams. I really do. I think when you go for a college entry exam and you're sitting there, you should not be allowed in if you do not know who Bugs Bunny is. You shouldn't be allowed in.
I know who Bugs Bunny is.
I didn't say you couldn't go, all right? But I don't think you should be allowed in. I don't think you should be allowed in if you don't know who Yosemite Sam is.
What about if you don't know who Justin Timberlake is?
Really?
Yeah, upcoming college students took a poll and they don't know who Justin Timberlake was when he sang at the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's throwing me off track. I had a whole joke laid out, and you threw Justin Timberlake in the middle. I mean, do you not? Okay, so college kids didn't know, but I think they should all have to know Foghorn Leghorn. I really do. And you know, and then I think they should have to do certain impressions. Say like, I think they should say, "Do you do any impressions?" You know what I mean? Can you do any impressions?
No.
None?
No, I do like your Bill Clinton though.
You like my Bill Clinton?
Yeah. You want to do your Bill Clinton?
No, I think you know, if you're sitting there and you're at Harvard, let's see if you get in, right? So you're at Harvard and you're sitting there and the guy's got a bow tie. You know you're thinking that the guy's got to have a bow tie, right? Because you're at Harvard, right? So the interview, you know, you're at Harvard and you're sitting there and the guy looks at you or the lady, oh my God, or the transgender, oh my God, how can I end a show like this? Whoever's sitting across from you in a bow tie, all right? And first of all, you're sitting there wondering, are you a guy or a girl? And then after that, right? And then they look at you and say, Okay, for the final part of the exam, can you do any impressions? And you say, You say, boy. I say, boy. Pay attention to me, boy, when I'm talking to you. Now, who was that?
I have no idea. Who is that?
Boy. I say, boy.
It's the
boy.
big giant rooster. What's his name?
It's a big rooster. That's Foghorn Leghorn, right?
Oh, okay.
Sam
You
Dunn.
should have just said the giant rooster.
And then you should have to be able to just with one clue. If he says, hide me, Muggsy. Muggsy says, hide me. I'm your host, BKP. We've had a lot of fun. We like to close the show with some fun. I want to thank Amanda and Samantha for making the recovery. FYNTV.com had a little problem technically there, and they switched it over immediately. So we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow morning. It will be Wednesday. Is tomorrow Wednesday? Just double checking. All right, take us out of here.